Hey everybody, this is Laurie Sports Rhetoric. I'm Damon.
This is Nathan.
I almost forgot my name. Today we are continuing our series on the off seasons of each team in the NFL. Continuing through the AFC East, we are going to do the Jets today. So Nate will tell you about how they did last year.
The 2021 Jets ended with a record of 4-13. They were fourth in the AFC East, no playoffs. They were the 26th ranked in yards offensively, 28th ranked in points offensively, 32nd in yards allowed, and 32nd in points allowed defensively. Not great at all.
Those are rough numbers. That's
terrible.
That's what we call a bad season.
It's a bad season. The 32nd ranking defense on both categories probably.
And they hired a defensive head coach, right? Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the GM is Joe Douglas. Been there 3 years.
Not a good 3-year run for Joe so far.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and say he needs a drastic improvement or he could be in trouble.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
It's my opinion.
I don't think they should have moved on from him yet. I think you got to give a guy more than 3 years. But it hasn't looked great in his tenure so far.
Yeah,
just saying.
From
the outside looking in,
Agreed. Agreed. All right, so they got the head coach, Robert Saleh. Has been there 1 year. His record was 4-13.
which not a great start. But in his case, I'm going to give him a little slack. It's 1 year. He didn't have a lot to work with to begin with. So let's see what he can do in year 2.
Yeah. Free agent additions. Laken Tomlinson guard out of San Francisco. I thought that was a very good addition.
Very solid pickup. Yep.
Yeah, they needed help there. And then DJ Reed out of Seattle as a safety. I think that is at least a solid player. You know what I mean? He's solid. Uzama, the tight end out of Cincinnati. I think that was a great addition as well. He was fun to watch last year.
Yeah, very much.
Shame he got hurt, didn't he, at the end of the year?
Yeah, he was hurt in the playoffs and
yeah.
ended up missing. Yeah, he didn't get to chance to play in the Super Bowl.
But he did look good during the season.
Yeah, he was like easily missed in the Super Bowl. You could tell that their offense was not the same without him. So that should mean he's a solid pickup.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. They got Conklin, Whitehead.
I think a lot of solid pickups. Nothing fantastic. But
solid.
But solid pickups, and when you're that bad, solid pickups could mean improvement because
That's bad.
that's how bad you were, and it's going to be hard to. It's not like they're going to attract big name free agents where they are, and they're like, I'm not going to fault the GM for not bringing any big names when you're a team that's that bad. Like, you got to show that you can win before big name guys want to come to you. So, build through the draft, and the free agents will come eventually. So just having a few solid names in that mix, I think, is a credit to the GM that he was able to convince some decent players to come join.
Yeah. I mean, like, as far as free agency losses, I mean, again, like you talk about, I mean, when your team's that bad, like, you even have all that great of players to lose in the first place. I mean,
I think the two names that stand out on that list is Moses and Crowder, right? Like,
right,
those are the two names.
Right.
Like, so Morgan Moses was a nice addition for them last year in free agency, and he did what he wanted to do. He went to a bad team. He proved he was a pretty good tackle, and then he got a better deal from a good
Baltimore.
team. And so that hurts them maybe losing him a little bit, but they signed him on a 1-year prove-it deal. He proved it, and he moved on. And at the point they're at right now, that's what is going to be the case for them.
Yeah, and I think they will miss Crowder a little bit, but their wide receiving core still needs some help, massive help. So
and Crowder's age doesn't match up with your quarterback right now anyway.
Sure.
So will it be a loss? Yes, but long term, that's not a big problem, I don't think.
Yeah, sure. All right, in the draft, they had round 1, pick 4, cornerback Ahmad Sauce Gardner, Cincinnati. Love the pick. First off, I mean, talented is all get out.
Right, and we talked about this during our draft videos. They were one of the best drafts, I thought, one of the best drafts out there. I think we highlighted them as one of our top. We did our top 6 draft, and they were one of them. So, yeah, I mean, hit home run there.
I mean, totally agree. Round 1, pick 10, wide receiver Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. I did hear that he got injured already in camp, but I don't know how bad or serious the injury is. But that is a great addition. He is a very
and if he
good wide
lives up to
receiver.
what he's supposed to be, then he's better than the loss of. He makes up for the loss of Crowder by being even better
Sure.
and lining up with the age of your quarterback. So
That's right. Obviously a good pick. Round 1, pick 26, your boy, defensive end Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State.
talked about it in the draft video. Loved the pick. The Jets are gonna like watching this guy hit quarterbacks. Jets fans are gonna like watching this guy hit quarterbacks.
I totally agree. I think in a lot of drafts he would have been higher up that draft board anyways, just happened to be so good. But Jermaine Johnson's great. Round 2, pick 36, running back Brees Hall out of Iowa State.
I love this kid. We talked about it in the draft video. Really good running back.
Absolutely.
Should improve the offense by having him for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they're killing it on these picks anyway. So, round 3, pick 101, tight end Jeremy Ruckert out of Ohio State. Definitely a solid pick. And
when you add him to Uzma, upgrade big time at the tight end position between the two of them.
Absolutely.
The two of them are better than both of the guys that they lost in free agency, so you have a big upgrade at that position. And you got a guy that's a veteran and older mixed with a rookie. That's a good combination usually too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think they made such good decisions with this draft. It's great. Round 4, pick 111, offensive tackle Mass Mitchell out of Louisiana.
Maybe that's your Morgan Moses replacement. Maybe that's depth. We don't know. I liked him he's the guy that I had looking for the Bears. I liked him. I talked about it in the draft video. Solid pick, especially where they got him.
And then round 4, pick 117, defensive end Michael Clemens out of Texas A&M.
Yeah, I know a little bit less about him, but I think he's supposed to be a pass rusher. Maybe a third down specialist at this time that grows into something. But like we said, on a team like the Jets, there's always opportunities for guys to come in and contribute and make the team better because they weren't good last year.
Nope. It's rough. And then that's where the draft ends. Round 4. They didn't have anything else.
But they did a lot in those 4 rounds.
They did.
So
They did.
I think, yeah, like we said, A+ for the draft. A+ for the draft.
Yeah, I loved it. So, yeah, I mean, it does speak to, like you stated, I mean, they're building to the age that they need to build going forward.
Yeah.
I think this team definitely is one of those look forward kind of modes right now where, it's still going to be an uphill battle, but you'll get there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was happy to see Brees Hall.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you can look at with this team, what they did between free agency and the draft, they improved the offense, especially the weapons for Zach Wilson to work with, which will give you a better sense of what Zach Wilson is. Was he the guy that was tearing it up for BYU that you and I both loved? I mean, we talked about him when he was at BYU.
He was my favorite quarterback coming out of the
both
draft.
of us loved him. I was hoping the Bears would draft him. He has some swagger. He can make good throws. And then we didn't really see it last year. So was that because he's a rookie and he's still learning? Was that because the weapons were bad? Was that because the offensive coordinator doesn't know how to use them? Who knows? It didn't show up last year. They improved the weapons. I think that will be less of the conversation this year and more about, his progression. So,
yeah, that's really what you just want to see is progression.
Yeah, I think that's right. If you're a Jets fan, what you're hoping to see is a solid improvement from Wilson and that these young weapons that you got around him look like they could end up being good going forward.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't impressed with him last year, and I was, but like you said, I mean, he got nothing to work with. So, 2,334 yards, 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 185 rushing yards, and 4 touchdowns. That touchdown to interception ratio was rough. It's rough.
That's not getting it done. But hey, look, Peyton Manning, a host of other people, Steve Young, a lot of guys come into the league and struggle that first year or two, and then they find their footing. We all forget because of how good Mahomes has been and how good Zach Allen has been and some of these guys that have come in the league recently and just light the world on fire right at the bat. We forget that that's a tough position. Sometimes you need a year or two to grow into it. So let's give Wilson some time.
I did like him in college.
Yeah, I think you give him some time. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't feel the same way about him as I do Tua necessarily at the moment. You know what I mean? But if we come up into next year and you don't see too much improvement, but
well, you definitely. I don't. Yeah, yeah. It's look. I don't think the expectations should be high. If you're a Jets fan, you're watching this. You're not watching. You're not. You're gonna finish fourth in your division. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And then you're gonna have hopefully another good draft. And maybe this year you show enough for a free agent to go, hey, that's a team that is improving, and I want to go there. I think you just want to see enough improvement that Wilson is the long term, that the coach is the long term, that the GM might know what he's doing, even though it hasn't been good so far. Like, that's what you're looking for. But if you're expecting more than finishing fourth,
there's still players out there right now that if they went and got wide receivers, some really good wide receivers that I think could be available here in the offseason as well. Still, you know what I mean? That they could get.
Yeah, but I think you want to work with that group that you got and see if they're good. They're young. I don't know.
I would like to see another veteran added to it, but I hear what you're saying. Like you said, they're not in win mode now.
They're not. I mean, they're just not. So why? I don't know. I think other than keeping... The only thing that I would say, there's also some offensive linemen still out there that are good. Maybe you might want to look at a left tackle still.
You got to protect him.
Because regardless of... You can go young and see if it works out at some positions, but you got to protect that quarterback. Yeah. So, that would be the one area that maybe they could use. I know there's some good offensive linemen out there. But other than that, I think in general it's just... it's funny because much like we talked about the Bills, it's like hard for them to do anything wrong. This is a team where it's also kind of hard for them to do anything wrong because everything seems like it's going to be, for different reasons, everything looks like it's going to be an upgrade. But with that said, I think they killed the draft, and that was, as a young rebuilding team, the draft is the most important thing, and I think they killed it. So beyond that, everything else is let's see what happens. So that wraps up our critique of the Jets. Let's see what happens. Enjoy that motto for the season, Jets fans.
Enjoy that. Let's see what happens. Thank you for giving us a watch. Please give us a like, give us a subscribe if you like our content. We're gonna keep doing this throughout the summer, and we'll be releasing videos on all the teams.
And please comment about what you think about the Jets' new motto of "Let's see what happens."
Let's see what happens.
We want to see if that sticks.
All right. Thank you.